Well, it's been not really a lot of news. Just thought I'd sit down again and go over some of the things that have happened because there has been a little bit of development on Voyage the Dawn Treader, and we'll see what happens. I tend to be somewhat pessimistic, and I was chatting with Glumpuddle recently, and he's going, dude, brilliant, come on, of course it's going to get made. And I'm just kind of thinking, yeah, I hope so, but I'm not really sure. But we do know that Walden definitely wants to make all seven if they could. So that's encouraging. So we know that it's not the production. It's really from what we understand, it seems to be that Disney and Walden disagreed about basically when it was going to be released. There was an article on let's see. I think it's an article on Variety that I have here, where it basically says that Walden is still committed to the Narnia movie franchise despite Disney dropping out, and I mean it sounds like a lot of it was more, they just Walden wasn't really interested in going into the quote shark-infested waters of May rather than a holiday season berth, and was looking to avoid the same scenario for the follow-up Voyage of the Dawn Treader. Apparently Walden wanted Prince Caspian to be a holiday film, and Disney said no, we're going to push it to be a more of a summer action flick. And a lot of us have said that the timing was probably one of the main things that hurt Prince Caspian. But one of the other articles that has got a lot of press, which I thought was interesting, a woman wrote for the LA Times on yes, a mom scolds Disney, and Mary McNamara, I hope I'm not butchering her name. She's the mother of a 10, an 8, and 2-year-old, and she says that basically Disney made a mistake because they should have realized that Prince Caspian was never going to be as big as Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and that it was always going to be the one that didn't do as well. And Mark Johnson at one point said, well, maybe we shouldn't have done Prince Caspian as the second movie. I definitely think they should have. I think if they tried to go, I don't know what other route they would have gone. I think because of the actors' ages, I think the only other option would have been to have done, perhaps to have done Magician's Nephew, and then go with Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. But I don't think that would have worked. I think that you really had to start with Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe gives you really that foundation, and I am die-hard firm believer that the correct way to read the Chronicles, the first time you read them anyway, the correct way to read them is in the order they were published. I think it makes the most sense. It'd be kind of like watching Star Wars in the chronological order, but that wouldn't really work the first time because you're not supposed to know that Luke is the son of Darth Vader. But all of that aside, I still am fairly pessimistic. I'm just not really sure what will happen. We're hearing a lot of buzz that Fox might pick it up. I'm not really sure. Fox is doing. I'm not sure. It could be interesting to see what happens. Glumpuddle and I were talking, and Disney has made. They've made some big mistakes, and I think it's very possible this could prove to be another big mistake. I mean, I'm just thinking back to when they let go of Lord of the Rings, and Peter Jackson went to Miramax, which was owned by Disney, and said, I'd like to do the Lord of the Rings, and as 2 movies, part 1, part 2, and Miramax said, well, we were really only willing to do 1 movie, and which seems weird because you would think they'd want to milk it for all it's worth. But he said, oh, I can't do it as 1 movie, so they said, okay, go get another studio. And at that point, I'm thinking, wow, that's just bad decision making. But then it was going to be a big financial risk, and New Line Cinema was willing to take that risk, and they ran with it, and it paid off very well for them, putting all their trust in this guy who no one had heard of before. So, but apparently, Glenn Puddle told me, and I never heard this before. They said that Disney also turned down Harry Potter, saying he said because they said, oh well, they're never, American audiences wouldn't like, movies with kids with accents, which is absurd. But I thought, wow, I mean that was really a big mistake, but I believe it because we know that Paramount, supposedly, and I could be wrong about this, supposedly the Paramount script of Lion, Witch, the Wardrobe had them, the Pevensies as American kids, and it was LA earthquake, and they were going to be eating pizza and hot dogs instead of Turkish delight and stuff, and they probably wouldn't have kept the name Pevensey anyway, Smith. But no, I mean, it's going to be interesting to look back in hindsight to what Disney has done here, because this could possibly prove to be a big mistake. We may never know. If someone takes up Voyage and doesn't do a great job with it, because I think it has potential to be amazing. If someone takes it up, doesn't do a great job with it, then Disney will just say, "Ha, see, it was good. We dropped that." But no, I'm feeling a little more optimistic now, since we're hearing reassurances. Excuse me. We're hearing reassurances that from the Walden people and from the producer side, from the people who are actually making it, that they want to still make the movie, and so that reassures me, and so I do feel better about it. Basically, we're where we were several years ago, where oh, we want to make Disney movies, and or we want to make Narnia movies, and Disney said, oh well, we'll do it with you. Disney kind of jumped on it. I guess Disney probably thought it was going to be an easy make. It seems kind of like Disney is almost like Fox is with television movies, where I mean, they dropped Firefly, and that was, that's one of the, oh my goodness, he dropped this amazing show, and for a while we thought they were going to drop the new Terminator TV show, which been watching season 2. That's been part of what's keeping me occupied, because there's not much Hobbit news right now, and I've got the Hobbit to look forward to, and I'm really stoked about that, as you might be able to imagine. Huge Lord of the Rings fan. But no, I'm feeling a little better, but I'm just very wary. I'm one of those people that I kind of predict that. Yeah, I'm predicting Voyage of the Dawn Treader is not gonna get made, at least not for the next 10 years or so. And of course, if I'm right, then I was right, and if I'm wrong, then I'm pleased. I mean, being a pessimist, I hate being right all the time. So we'll see what happens. But those are just some of my thoughts right now. We'll definitely have to wait and see. So until then, further up and further in, we always have the books. Speaking of which, oh wait, let me show this. I've picked this up, and when I was in Oxford, I was in a bookstore, and this was just so cool. Where is it? Aha. I was just so stoked to have this. I don't have any copies with the full illustrated editions, and I know purists don't really like this because this isn't, the ones that Pauline Baynes, the original Pauline Baynes, but they are Pauline Baynes illustrations, and they, they were just redrawn a little bit, and she added some colors to them. But let's see if I can find. I mean, just gorgeous pictures in here. A lot of these I'd never seen before. And it was just really cool, and I was so glad that I found this. And it's got all these amazing, just really beautiful paintings that I'm trying to get it so that you can see that Pauline Baynes did on the stories. The woman was truly just a great artist, and she had a picture of the Dufflepuds in here, which I'd never really seen a picture like this of the Dufflepuds, and I was always wondering, how she would draw them. But anyway, so yes, I've got this, and no matter what happens, I've always got the books. So, till then, further up and further in.